Hello everyone, this is PKL Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk again about Will Smith and the continued fallout from the 2022 Oscar Awards, where the Academy has recently decided to ban him from attending the event for the next 10 years. Now we all know the story by now. Will Smith generated massive controversy when he slapped Chris Rock whilst he was presenting an award on stage after the comedian made a joke about his wife Jada Pinkett Smith and her baldness. Now there's been so much debate around the narratives of this event, from Will Smith's bruised ego or mental insecurity, to the supposed emasculation within his marriage, the perception of black people, promoting black on black violence, condoning violence in general. Should Will Smith have been arrested? Do comedians need more protection? Is bigotry to blame? Is white supremacy to blame? Do celebrities benefit far more from privilege than normal civilians? We could go on and on with all the discussions surrounding this event, but the most important question was, what decision would the Academy take in terms of punishment, especially after Will Smith recently resigned from the Academy board? So by banning him for 10 years, was the right decision made? Was it enough of a punishment for Will's actions? Now in my opinion, I'm going to say no, it absolutely wasn't enough in terms of punishment. And this is because when we look at the official statement from the Academy, which was released on Friday the 8th, 2022, basically stating that Mr. Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy Awards events or programs in person or virtually, excluding but not limited to the Academy Awards. His resignation and barring does not preclude him from being nominated or even winning future Academy Awards during that time of the 10-year ban. So when I look at this, you mean to tell me that after committing an act of assault that many normal people would have been arrested for, going on to still receiving the award and being allowed to stay and party after the event, he also gets to keep the award and the distinction of being an Oscar-winning actor? He even then has the privilege of winning more awards in the future, since we already expected some lengthy ban anyway before he resigned. And in many ways, Will Smith anticipated the lengthy ban, which is why he resigned from the Academy in the first place. But the fact that he still gets to keep his Oscar, which he can use later on when he markets future projects and movies. And whilst, yes, the distinction of being an Oscar-winning actor doesn't quite garner the same clout that it used to, it still is something that you can use on your CV and your poster and your promotional material. And bear in mind that Will Smith only needs one Oscar. Any other potential Oscars that he wins in the future is just a bonus, but he only needs the one Oscar that he can put on his record to claim further credibility as an actor. And let's be honest, Will Smith is probably relieved that he doesn't have to sit through any more 3-hour plus events, as a lot of actors would probably prefer not to attend, especially if they haven't been nominated for any of the awards. And let's be honest here, a lot of these actors, they attend these events more as a paid endorsement by the Academy to promote the overall Oscars. A lot of actors attend the award primarily just to try and generate more clout and build their profiles, rather than actually enjoying the awards themselves. So I very much doubt that Will Smith isn't that disappointed at not being able to attend these events in the future, especially if he still has the potential to win future awards. Now many people won't agree with this, but for me, the only meaningful decision left would have been to take the Oscar from him. By rescinding the Oscar, it would have told everybody that this behaviour wouldn't have been tolerated no matter how popular or successful they are, and that would have set the record straight going forward for any future bad behaviour that happens at the Oscars, because we can safely assume that this won't be the last controversial instance that happens at the awards. As I've mentioned in previous video, I do agree to an extent that events like this are staged or certainly encouraged to try and generate ratings. As we all know, there's been a severe decline in ratings and interest in the awards for several years now. So when looking at it from that basis, who's to say what shenanigans may happen in future awards? And anybody who commits further bad behaviour can do so knowing that they can get to keep their award no matter what. Because if somebody else conducts something similar to what Will Smith does and you punish them more severely, they can come back with the argument, well, you didn't do it for Will Smith, so why are you doing it to me? Is it because of race? Is it because of gender? Is it because of sexual orientation? So you're going to throw up all of those debates once again if something similar happens like this in the future. Now, many people have brought up the argument that we've had previous winners who've committed certain bad acts or crimes, have also managed to retain their Oscars or weren't evicted from the Academy for many years after their acts. So of course the prime examples that have been thrown about are Harvey Weinstein, Mel Gibson and Roman Polanski. Certainly I can see that side of the argument as to why these individuals weren't punished as much, therefore why is Will Smith. But just because mistakes were made in the past doesn't mean that we should make them again in the future. And when we look at those individuals, their misdemeanors weren't committed at the awards ceremony themselves. Their acts weren't under the Academy's jurisdiction. Will Smith committed his acts directly under the watch of the Oscars. So his actions were very much under the jurisdiction of the Oscars. So therefore they had to take far more of a strict action. Something which they already failed in by not taking action at the time, where I believe that Will Smith should have been escorted from the event and the best actor should have been awarded to someone else. And I'd also go so far as say that he actually should have been arrested and charged with assault. Now, I take a strong stance on this because if this were to happen to any non-celebrity figure, then that individual would definitely have been arrested and facing certain charges later on down the line. And if the Academy had taken this type of action during the events, they would have come away with far more credit and kudos would have been given to them for taking swift action and dealing with a very difficult situation so swiftly. So from this decision, the Academy are still coming off as very weak for me. They've been trying to cover themselves non-stop following the fallout from these events. We've had multiple individuals surrounding the production of the event coming out and stating that they asked Will Smith to leave, that they didn't have time to change the awards, that Chris Rock requested for Will Smith not to be charged. But for me, these are all excuses for not acting appropriately when the time was right. And as for Will Smith himself, well, he'll probably go away now, spend some time distant from the industry, maybe 1 or 2 years. He doesn't need the money, of course. He's got multi-millions. There's been speculation and to an extent confirmed reports that he will be spending a stint in rehab, very much to deal with his own issues. And certainly from a media standpoint, it would be best for him to spend a bit of time away from the spotlight. But eventually he will come back, likely in some sort of Netflix style documentary or an interview describing all of the various ordeals that built up to him striking Chris Rock. And we'll certainly see a very orchestrated media campaign to try and garner all sorts of sympathy, and eventually this will bring about him returning to making films, while still retaining the distinction of a Best Actor at the Academy Awards. So we could argue to an extent that he has come out, if not necessarily the victor, but certainly with more pluses than what he should have done in many sense. Yes, his reputation has been tarnished, but as we've seen with many actors in the past, who have also had stains on their reputation, there's always a way back. Of course, one of the biggest examples was Robert Downey Jr. coming back from certain drug and alcohol problems to becoming one of the most prominent actors within all of the industry. Mel Gibson as well, one of the most revered actors from the 80s and 90s, has managed to come back to some extent after his misdemeanors. Whilst not the same superstar status that he had before, he certainly has been prolific, starring in multiple films for the last 5 years or so. And this is the same case for Will Smith. He can easily make a comeback like previous individuals before. And as I've seen certainly within entertainment, there's an all too willingness to forgive and forget and give people second and third chances. So there's no doubt in my mind, if Will Smith plays it right and continues to come across as a far more of a remorseful individual, acknowledging the mistakes that he's made, then I'm sure eventually the public will welcome him back with open arms. So overall, the decision to ban him for 10 years or so is quite stern for many people, but for me, not stern enough. And I think the only way to really make a significant punishment would have been to take the Oscar away, but now they cannot do this. So in many sense, the decision ultimately means nothing overall. And the whole thing has really been a wasted exercise. And again, the Academy really has to learn for the next time when this happens again, and really make a further example that they will not tolerate any Hollywood bad behaviour, regardless of how popular or successful the actor or actress are. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings on Will Smith being banned from the Academy Awards for over 10 years. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think this was a sufficient punishment, or do you think, like myself, that he should have had the Oscar rescinded? And what precedent will this set for the future when we get another controversial incident next time at the awards? How will they deal with punishing that individual? Will they follow the same method here, or will they be far more harsher in their treatment of that individual? We will wait and see overall. And if you like me covering this type of commentary, then let me know as well, and I'll continue to cover several other topics within the entertainment industry such as this as well. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay in safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.